Hi and welcome to my channel. For those of you, my name's Dave and this video is somewhat different. It's not about my journey towards financial freedom but about a recent topical event. So let's get into this latest video. So what does the mini budget in the UK mean to you as an individual? The so-called mini budget was a chance for the new Tory leadership to make a dramatic announcement about their future plans towards controlling the economy in the coming months to alleviate the so-called issues and pressures on both the public and businesses as we move through the current cost of living crisis. Now, this video is not designed to be political and I will remain impartial. It's about the key points highlighted by the new Chancellor. Well, they certainly created an instant repression as it announced the second largest budget giveaway and taxes sold since the infamous Barber budget way back in 1972. Now that event proved a bit of a failure as the so-called trickle-down economics didn't work. Now the chart attached shows how it compares to the numerous offerings from other chancellors over the past few years. Now the IFS have already come out and stated that a big gamble on the assumption that it will lead to growth of at least 2% and those targets are met. It resulted in a total net giveaway of around about 45 billion, which resulted straight away in knocking 1.5% off GDP expectations. It has resulted in even more debt created at a time when debt levels are rising every month and becoming more expensive and to facilitate and service. Now, it may be that the economy goes according to plan, but if we suffer any shocks in the short term, such as the so-called impending recession or unexpected events like the Ukraine war or recent COVID pandemic, it may prove disastrous for both the current government and the future UK economy for many years to come. If you look at the following chart, a quick simple reaction of how the markets have taken the budget. It's reacted badly. Yet again, another fall in shares both in UK and America, but the pound has fallen to its lowest level for 37 years, now down to 109 against the dollar, and it fell 3% on the day in reaction to the budget announcement. What are the major changes which will affect members of the public and so-called businesses? Well, recently we've seen the energy cap introduced for the public, 6 months, shall we say, stay of execution. Well overdue, but now a cap has been introduced for businesses with effect from the 1st of October, resulting in a 6-month cap also. Now this may well be a little late for a lot of businesses, as we see on social media and the news every day. There are tons of small businesses and companies closing due to ever increasing costs, and it's simply not viable for a lot of businesses to continue operating as they are. Simple example, on the BBC website, there's a simple story of a landlord who's seen his heating bills go from $44,000 a year to $124,000 for the past year. Okay. These costs are simply unaffordable, which will obviously be passed on to consumers who are already struggling with the cost of living crisis. And many businesses are now making the decision to close as they don't become indebted in the future. It's simply not viable. A key change has been the reversal in the national insurance increases announced by Rishi Sunak earlier this year. This will take effect from the 6th of November, and it's believed 28 million people will be better off by an average of £330 a year. I personally thought it was a mistake in the first place, but it's been designed to put more money back into people's pay packets straight away. This action will obviously help both employers and employees who both pay NI through a payroll, and it will give some much needed respite to smaller businesses. The so-called income tax cut schedule for April 2024 has been brought forward by 12 months. So from April 2023, the basic rate taxpayers will pay will go from 20% to 19% on each pound earned between £12,570 and £50,270. This action is believed to have affected 31 million people, and on average it will make someone £170 better off in tax each year. On the subject of tax banding, A surprise announcement was the removal of the additional higher rate tax of 45% for anyone earning over 150,000. Now, I'm not jealous. I'm not going to have a go at anyone that amount. They deserve it. They took actions in the past to earn them rates of pay. But it's a classic case of the rich getting richer, and a pay rise will obviously affect more of them in a greater deal, but less tax, shall we say. In my opinion, it should be spread equally. Okay, this action will only affect 1% of the workforce. They reckon 629,000 people. This was done to attract high net worth earners in the UK, one to stay in the UK, and also to attract employees already earning them excessive amounts in pay. A better option may well have been to uplift the tax-free personal allowance from £12,570 to create a more level playing field to the vast majority of people. There was also some changes in stamp duty announced, which will hopefully avoid an end to the house price boom we've seen over the past few years. Now in the UK, we are obsessed with house prices and the value of their homes. The expectation is higher prices makes everyone feel happier and it creates a better economy. This action may be great for people who already own their own homes, but what about first-time buyers or renters? By taking this action, it will obviously increase house prices in the future, as the market will carry on increasing or rising in prices. Stamp duty was lifted from the current level of 125,000 to 250,000, and for first-time buyers from 300 to 425,000. This action may well help new buyers, but it would just escalate house prices further and thereby make it harder for new purchasers to get a foot on the property ladder. Another reversal was the scrapping of the so-called rise in corporation tax from 19% due to rise to 25%. This action will hopefully result in companies paying less tax on profits and make the UK a more competitive place and marketplace to do business with. It will attract companies which will invest in the UK, and hopefully by taking this action, the long-term companies will produce better profits, tax collection will rise over the coming years from the so-called growth of these respective companies. Some small items of note include the freezing of duty on beer, cider, spirits to help an industry which has struggled at the moment and was drastically affected by the recent pandemic, which resulted in a lot of people leaving that employment sector and a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars closing as they struggled to bear them costs, making them not effective or they unable to survive in a current market condition. The government also introduced rules to make it harder for the so-called 129,000 people on universal credit to continue to receive that benefit by putting measures in place so individuals are now seen to be more proactive in gaining better paid employment or take a more active decision to gain employment. They've also introduced changes that require companies to take action before they go on strike. Over the past few weeks and months, we've seen a great increase in companies taking strikes, mainly because the workforce are not happy with what's been offered by pay rises. Okay, so they're taking drastic action to hopefully fight the cost of living crisis. Now, there are some good points, there are some bad points in the mini budget, and you cannot please everyone. But more action personally should have been taken not now, but not next April, as we are about to enter a serious winter of discontent. It's a very big gamble to take, and who knows how it will play out. As we said, it's the second largest tax giveaway ever. And remember, if you like the videos, press the like button, subscribe to this channel so we can reach a wider audience, and we'll see you in the next video.